Summary: what do you do when you're given a second chance and reunited with the people you hurt? Still trapped inside the amazing digital circus, Jax expects extraction to be the end. It isn't. So when he's reunited with his old friends Ribbit and Kaufmo, how is he supposed to regain their full undivided trust? Drax isn't fond of opening up, and to make matters worse, there's a huge secret he's been keeping since his arrival in the circus. Jax is a cover-up. Chapter 1: Your New Home, Once Again. The first thing Jax felt was emptiness. Abstraction was a deep, suffocating pit, designed to make you feel isolated and alone. The drop down was the worst part. He saw a bright light above him, and it sat there glowing, taunting him, as he fell further away. He reached for the light, but there was no point. You did this to yourself, his mind said. He began to remember all of the centipedes he hid in Ragatha's room in the most discreet places and giggling at her terrified screams. The many, many times he broke Gangle's comedy mask, even if it wasn't intentional, and her heartbroken face. Taking Zooble's limbs and hiding them, or breaking them into even smaller pieces, putting them in an even shittier mood than normal, making Kinger more confused than he already was. And Pomni. No, he couldn't think of her right now. He said horrible things to her, walking away instead of talking to her, abstracting in her arms, realizing what he'd done, though it was far too late. She was the closest he had to a friend after Ribbit and Kaufmo extracted, but he shut her down. Why hadn't he just opened up? Why did he feel the need to stay hidden, to put on a fake persona so that the person he desperately wanted to be wouldn't show? If he had just have told them, he thinks that he's... Jack's thoughts were interrupted when his back hit the ground with a jolting thud. The unfamiliar area surrounded him was cold, dark, and not very comfortable. He felt helpless, lonely, small, and for the first time since entering the circus, real. He looked around eagerly at his surroundings, but could hardly see anything through the ongoing darkness. He started to sit up, but then a way too familiar voice broke the silence. Jax? A few minutes prior. The basement has never felt as lively as it had done now. Warmly lit with string lights I conjured up, and plenty of Polaroids lining the walls from many years before to now. Kaufmo and I have been setting up a movie night for us two, and it's going smoothly so far. Pillows and blankets were scattered across the room, courtesy of Kaufmo, and everything looks great. This looks great, Ribbit. You've really outdone yourself this time, Kaufmo abruptly chimed in. I gave a quick, wholehearted smile. Oh please, this was nothing. And hey, you did more of the work than me. You've made all this. I gestured to the massive pillows and blankets. And you're giving me credit here? Come on, man, hype yourself up. This is so awesome. I quickly run over to him and start hitting his arms jokingly, and he starts laughing with me. Okay, I get it, Ribbit. I give myself credit too. Now, would you stop? Kaufmo's laughter is cut off with a abrupt thud. It came behind the couch, and both of us turned to meet each other's gaze. It couldn't be the others. They were all asleep inside of the many bedrooms. None of them typically were up at this hour, unless it was Queenie checking up on her butterflies, but she had recently moved those to her bedroom after one broke its wings and she had to be more attentive. I decided to take the first steps and carefully crept across the living room. Oh gosh, hopefully it's not some scary animal someone conjured up by accident again. That's never fun. Or a monster like the ones Caine would put in adventures, or just as I round the couch, I see a familiar figure laying on the bare floor, but I can't quite see with the lack of light. Suddenly, it moves and mumbles a faint "huh?" Just from that small, quiet, and quick phrase, I stumble backwards and put my hands over my mouth. Barely able to speak, all I can say is, "Jax?" He is immediately startled, and I can hardly see what he does next because my eyes are flooded with tears. I let out a small sob, and I can feel Kaufmo standing beside me, holding a supportive arm around my shoulders. As tears slide down a bit, Jax turns to face us, and I swear I can see him tear up as well. Before I can even think what I'm doing, I find myself sitting on the floor in front of Jax. I silently stared into his glassy eyes, his turning to look at mine too. There's so many things I'd like to say to him, but all I could do is sit in the silence and just stare. My face feels warm, and I feel tears emerging again. As I bury my face in my hands, letting out a hushed sob, I feel a soft set of arms pull me into a hug. Without a second thought, I buried my face into his shoulder and began to cry even harder. How was he here? After all this time, why now? What drove him off the edge to end up here in the first place? Was it Caine? Was it the adventures? Was it... "Hey, Ribbit, look at me," his voice said, and hearing him speak made me sob even more. I miss his gorgeous, soothing voice. I shake my head, not willing to look him in the eyes while I'm at my most vulnerable. He sighs and gently lifts my hands away from my face, tilting my chin up. I hesitate for a moment, but turn to look at his beautiful golden eyes. He's smiling, but it's not his normal fake performative smile. It's genuine, almost awkward. After a second, I smile back, still sniffling. "Hey, asshole, glad you finally decided to join us," I said sarcastically. He laughs a little before pulling Kaufmo into the hug as well. We all exchange laughs, smiles, many, many tears, and the words I've been hoping to hear from him for years. "Ribbit, Kaufmo, I I'm so sorry," Jack says, "but it's not quick. It's not quiet nor loud, but it's just right. It really hits home, like icing on a cake or fireworks on the 4th of July. It's the closest thing to perfection she's heard in a long time." "Jax, I I can't say I forgive you entirely, but just because I miss you so much, inside the circus and down here in the basement, I forgive you. Let's say 3/4 of the way. How does that sound?" He gives a faint laugh. "More than enough. I I can't believe it's really you guys. There's so much we need to catch up on, huh?" I nod quickly, Kaufmo doing the same. "I've missed you, Bunny, but there's a lot of ground rules here. Some that might be hard for you to follow seeing your antics up in the circus," I tell him sincerely. A look of confusion sparks in his face. "Wait, huh? How do you... I never really saw Kaufmo once you abstracted," he says a bit too briefly. "So how do you know what I was like in the circus once you two were gone?" I then turned to look at Kaufmo, who was already looking at me. Kaufmo decides to break the silence first. We may have found a way to see what's going on in the circus. Jax yells, "You what?" Thank you so much for listening to my very first podfic. If you love this chapter of our hidden truths, please leave a comment and subscribe for the next part. And don't forget to check the description to find the original fic on AO3 and leave Cinema Quinn Swirl some love and kudos. Until next time, take care and I'll see you in the next chapter.